आरती कुंज बिहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। आरती कुंज बिहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। गले में बैचनती माला, बजावे मुरली मधुर बाला। श्रवण में कुंडल जल काला, नंद के आनंद नंद लाला। गगन संग अंग काति काली, राधिका चमक रही आली। लतन में तारे बनवाली, भ्रमर से अलग कस्तूरी तिलक। चंद्र से तिलक ललित छवि श्यामा प्यारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। आरती कुंज विहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। कनक में मोर. Good morning all to today's episode on natural law manifestation, and today the conversation is about the art of war for religious dummies. The art of war for religious dummies, right? Now when I say religion, I don't mean cultural religion only, yeah? I don't mean cultural religion. Money is a religion. Government is a religion. Your false belief in this government system in the age of Kali Yuga, that is religion, right? Religion is not only these cultural religions like Jesus and Ram, Sita and these things, right? But anyhow, Ram and Sita is actually real though. They're not fictional. My mother and father is actually Ram and Sita, right? My mother and father is actually Ram and Sita. But at least I'm not dumb enough to be like, oh, they are the only Ram and Sita that could exist. Them might be the born Ram and Sita, right? But I am not dumb enough to be like, oh, they are the only Ram and Sita that could ever exist in all of history, right? I at least know that I could. Yeah, I at least know that I could actually become Sita. Anybody could become Sita. Anybody could become Ram by doing the right things, right? So that's why it always hits a nerve in me, right? When people want to be like, my religious way is the only way. My religious way, right? So this is religion, right? My way is the only way, right? Well, nature is the only way if you all want to follow one thing, right? Nature is the only way because, surprise, it is natural. Surprise, nature is actually natural. And that's why natural law is the only way, right? Natural law is the only way, but you can actually access it in many ways, right? That's why since I was small, I've been saying that the source is one, but the parts are many, right? The parts are many. But when I say the parts are many, I don't mean you just doing your own thing. You just doing anything, right? Because the Bible actually says the same thing that the Quran says, that the Gita says, right? That's what I mean, that the paths are many. The straight and narrow path is actually many, right? The straight and narrow path is actually many, right? But it's the same straight and narrow path, if you get what I'm saying, right? The straight and narrow path is many. It exists actually in every religion, right? You can use whatever mechanism you want to derive a truth, right? It will lead to the truth. But when I say you can use whatever mechanism, let me rephrase that. You can use whatever moral mechanism, right? You can use whatever moral mechanism to derive a truth. It is still truth. So that's why it pisses me off when I am here singing my cultural bhajans and stuff, right? And people be like, oh, that is fantasy, that is fiction. From since the start of this entire video series, I have been preaching this whole thing, right? that there are secrets to actual true natural law manifestation. And this is why they would have hidden this information about Jesus going to India to acquire knowledge and whatever, right? There are certain secrets to natural law manifestation that people, that the higher ups absolutely do not want you to know, right? They do not want you to know, right? And part of this secret is actually the chanting of Sanskrit syllables because of sound frequency. Sound frequency, right? The other part is actually full alignment with the spiritual laws of the universe, right? I actually kind of scared if I were to actually get my mortgage sold right now, right? Because that would mean that I would be able to manifest in a way more rapid period of time, right, than I have done over the last 3 months, right? So this is what I'm saying. The art of true natural law manifestation contains sound frequency. It contains full alignment with the spiritual laws of the universe, not partial alignment, but full alignment, right? And fuck off to everybody who be like, oh, your God is false, Krishna is false, Krishna is fake. Yeah, you all continue to invalidate me, right? Continue to invalidate me. You was born out of a virgin mother, right? You was born out of a virgin mother, right? You was impregnated by a spirit, right? You was impregnated by a spirit and born out of a virgin mother. And then want to invalidate me? Right? You're not making any sense. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I do not make sense, right? Say, I do not make sense, right? The miracle, the life itself, the biology and the science of life forming inside your womb, the biology and the science of life forming inside your womb is the miracle, dummy, right? That is the miracle. There's no need to make up or fabricate any fabricated fantasy fable land story, right? There's no need to fabricate any fantasy fable story about being impregnated in any other means, right? As I was saying, it's been, I was chosen to be married, right? It's been a year and 3 months or so since I was chosen to be married, right? And I am still waiting on this miracle baby, right? I am still waiting on my miracle baby, right? I am waiting on my miracle baby because it didn't happen yet. And well, if it does happen, I will come here and I will publicly apologize for calling your fable a fable, right? I will apologize, I will humble myself, and I would accept and acknowledge that, hey, I was wrong about this, whatever, right? I don't have a problem doing that, right? But it takes a baby 9 months and so on, right, to develop and to give birth and whatever, right? So I've been waiting like a year and 3 months, and I even start to get my miracle baby as yet, right? I even start to get my miracle baby as yet, right? So it beats me that you all like to call other people, religion, false idols, antichrist, devil worship, this, that, right? And you actually believe you have a God, which is the one and only God, right? You have a God that is the one and only God that was born from a virgin boy. This is not to create any religious wars. This is just to make people question the lifelong belief that they have held, right? This is not, when I chant and sing my fable chanting, right? When I chant and sing my fable chanting, right? It is not in worship of any fable gods, right? It is not in any worship of any fable gods, right? It is purely for the purpose of sound frequency, which is the purpose of these songs, right? Which is the purpose of the chanting, right? कनक में मोर मुकुट बिल से देवता दर्शन को तरसे गगन सो सुमन राशि बरसे बजे मृदंग क्वालनी संग अतुल रति गोक कुमारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. Yeah, don't go invalidating me when you was born out of a virgin, right? So all the knock Jehovah witnessing. The Bible spoke about the law of cause and effect. The Gita spoke about the law of cause and effect. The Quran speak about the law of cause and effect, right? So that's why don't come shoving your bullshit down my throat if we can have a conversation about this, right? Don't come shoving your one-track mind bullshit down my throat if you are not willing to have a conversation. This is to all the religious dummies, right? If you are not willing to have a conversation with me regarding a religious text, right? If you are not willing to have an open conversation with me regarding a simple thing like that, then don't even bother to knock on my door. Do not knock on my door, right? And next thing that on this chosen thing with the videos that coming up on my YouTube, right? And next thing is some of them bawling, oh, well, I see one was like the Antichrist is rising, the Antichrist is rising, right? The Antichrist is rising. Like someone whilst I was along my journey in my videos and stuff, right? And then the next one, well, you know, after the Antichrist, the crisis come, right? So, well, according to the fables, right? But then our next one will be like, I see a next video yesterday. She was like, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming, right? As I always say, the Antichrist and the Christ was here, the Antichrist and the Christ is here, and the Antichrist and the Christ will be here, right? Until everybody learns the lessons that they need to learn, right? Until everybody learns the lessons that they need to learn, right? The same bullshit is going to repeat itself. The same bullshit story is going to repeat itself until humanity learns the lessons that is needed to be learned.